Hi guys, as Keir Starmer was flying to Washington on Wednesday night for the first meeting with the new president, how to deal with Trump was likely on his mind and on the minds of his staff. Well, luckily Newsnight's Victoria Derbyshire had someone on who had sort of gone through the ringer with Agent Orange, the former Prime Minister of Australia, Malcolm Turnbull. The Aussie described here a pretty heated call he had with Donald Trump some years ago, and his advice to Keir Starmer is to stand up to the bully. However, this raises two questions. Will it work, and will Starmer do it?
Well, my relationship with Donald Trump started off with an unholy row. We had entered into an agreement, a signed agreement, for the resettlement of some refugees or people, asylum seekers, who had been detained on islands in the Pacific. And we'd entered into that deal with Barack Obama. And Donald Trump did not want to go along with it. And we had a very heated argument. Well, he was much more heated than me. I was very calm. I tried to be very calm. But my proposition simply was, you can't renege on this deal. You know, it's you're like a new CEO. You've inherited a contract you don't like. You can complain about it, but you've got to abide by it. And it was an unpleasant call, and he said it was an unpleasant call, and he came very close to hanging up on me. He was furious, but he stuck to the deal. So I stood up to him, and in doing so, won his respect. I mean, Trump is a bully, that's pretty obvious. And if you give in to bullies and suck up to them, which is what most people seem to want to do with Trump, you will just get more bullying. So the key message for leaders, and I've written and talked about that since then, the best advice I can give them is be strong, stand your ground, defend your national interest, play a straight bat. You don't have to be rude or boisterous or belligerent, but do not take a backward step, because if you do, that will just be the first of many backward steps you have to take.
I agree 100%. You know, if you look at the people Donald Trump admires, Xi in China or Vladimir Putin, these are very strong characters, very powerful individuals. It's not just because they're heads of state, but their personalities are extremely strong. And this is something that Trump admires. He admires people who are bullies. He admires people who have strong characters. So Keir Starmer has to understand that when he's speaking to Trump. He can try and flatter him, but he has to stand his ground. So if Trump says, I want you to do X, Starmer must say, well, I will do X if it's in my interest, not in your interest. And I don't know, I hope I'm wrong here, but I don't think Starmer has that in him. I think he's a bit maybe too diplomatic. Maybe he'll be too diplomatic with Trump. He won't stand his ground, and he'll be humiliated. Like we've seen it with, for example, the French president. Macron has been very friendly to Trump, but he stands his ground. You saw in the clip where he grabbed Trump by the shoulder, by the arm, and said, you're wrong here. He was willing to, call him out in the White House on something that he got wrong. Now, I don't know if we're going to see Starmer do something similar. I don't think we will. It doesn't seem to be in Starmer's character. So Trump will smell fear. Trump will see if Starmer is made of metal or made of sand. And he's going to exploit that if he sees a weakness. And then, of course, this is not going to be good for Britain. Now, I'm not saying that Starmer doesn't know this, but Starmer will have to be prepared. You can try and pander to him somewhat, but don't go too far with that, because as soon as you do, as I said, Trump will smell this fear, he will smell this weakness, and he will exploit it. He's tried it before with other leaders, but they have stood up to him or they have manipulated him. I don't know if Starmer is able to do that or is willing to do that. Let me know in the comment sections, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.